Hi there. Welcome to the Movie Review Mom YouTube channel. I'm the mom and I do the movie reviews. And my goal is to save you time and money by giving the inside scoop on the content and quality of films so that you can decide for yourself whether or not you want to spend time or money when you watch movies. So, the movie I'm reviewing today is called Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. This fun sequel to the franchise is now playing in theaters. It's rated PG-13. It's an hour and 55 minutes. And my overall movie review mom grade is a B. I'm going to give you an overview in a nutshell. I'll point out things I liked, things I didn't like, as well as offer tips for parents, themes worth talking about, funny lines, interesting lines, and recommendations for other films that are sort of similar that you might also really like. Now, I know you're probably thinking, wait, that came out a few weeks ago. I know. So I'm trying to catch up. My virtual assistant, who's wonderful, love you, Mari, has been out of the country actually for a month. And so I'm trying to catch up. She edits the films. And anyway, so yay, I'm so glad she's back. So thank you for hanging in there and waiting for me. And I appreciated all of your kind messages saying, where are you? Are you okay? All right, so back to the movie. All right, so in a nutshell, the last Ghostbusters movie shot some much needed adrenaline into the franchise, I think, sparking a lot of interest in this newest addition to the story. This installment features the old and new Ghostbusters working together to save the world from a second ice age. The Spangler family returns to the famous New York City firehouse where it all began. And I love that. In fact, the working title for this movie was Firehouse. About 10 years ago, I went on a walking tour of Lower Manhattan in New York City, and they took us right by the firehouse, which has the Hook and Ladder 8 sign from the Tribeca neighborhood from the movie. The film was directed by Gil Kenan, who also co-wrote the screenplay with Jason Reitman. It was dedicated to the late Ivan Reitman, who was the director of the first two movies. There's a scene when one of the characters picks out a movie for everyone to watch, holding up a VHS copy of Cannibal Girls, a 1973 movie also directed by Ivan Reitman. So nice touch. There are plenty of Easter eggs in this movie. Let me give you some quick tips for parents. There are some scary images that might frighten young children. There's some young lesbian vibes in some scenes. There's some violence. Various weapons are used. Human ghost and other ghosts or types of ghosts are seen and portrayed. And there are a few crude comments. But other than that, it's family friendly, but just know there's some of that content in the film. Some of the themes that are illustrated very well are family, legacy, truth, supporting one another, and supernatural powers. So there's a long list of things that I really liked about this film. For example, fans of the franchise will love all of the carefully designed and hidden Easter eggs. I noticed a lot of them, but I'm sure I didn't find all of them because there are plenty. The cast includes the fantastic Paul Rudd, Carrie Coon, Finn Wolfhard, McKenna Grace, Kumail Nanjiani, Patton Oswalt, and our returning favorite Ghostbusters from the original, Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Ernie Hudson, and Annie Potts. Now, Dan Aykroyd also serves as one of the executive producers of the film. Now, at about 10 minutes into the movie, we get a very quick recap of the franchise that brings us up to speed, and that's very helpful. Very cool special effects. And keep watching during the final rolling credits for another fun scene. There are a lot of interesting ideas to consider in this new development of the story. Now, with all of that praise, there were a few things that I didn't like or just thought could have been done differently or better. For example, there are way too many side stories and characters that we just don't get enough time and development with all of them. It's hard to keep track of everybody and to kind of decide, oh, maybe that character's not important, as you try to decide which characters to invest your time and heart into. Sadly, Sigourney Weaver and Rick Moranis don't appear in this Ghostbusters movie. Super sad. Quite a few of the viewers mentioned that they thought that Bill Murray was phoning it in this time around, but I didn't think so. his character is just super laid back and getting old and tired, probably like the actor himself in real life, I think. And I can relate. I haven't decided yet if the hilarious mini marshmallow men are still adorable or if they're now becoming a little annoying and overdone like the Minions in the Despicable Me franchise. So what do you think? Comment down below. I would love to find out. It always drives me nuts when the experts in the movie are a bunch of teenagers, how they know more than anybody else. I'm like, okay, give some adults some credit, right? Now that I'm an adult. At about the hour mark, there are several scenes with so much exposition. And because of that, I'm sad to say I was a little bit bored. I felt like there were so many scenes that had to explain because there were things that were sort of unexplainable or not understandable without those long monologues and descriptions. And that definitely slows down a movie. So while I watch movies, I write notes, of course, but I write down funny lines and interesting lines. And you can see all of them on my written review at moviereviewmom.com. There to kind of give you an idea of the taste and flavor of the dialogue and the script writing. So I'll share some of them with you and you can find the rest on my website. So some of the funny lines was one spoken by Annie Potts' character, and she's talking about the past. And she's like, it was the 80s. No one was too worried about the future. And she had that New York accent. And then a cute line is when friend Wolfhard is in this random moment, and I'm not going to give you any spoilers. I try to make all my reviews spoiler free. But anyway, this thing happens and he goes, hey, I know that guy. It's kind of like that moment in an Avengers movie, right? When we see the Hulk and Thor and they meet up and Thor's like, hey, I know this guy from work. It's kind of like one of those moments. Now, Nadeem Razmadi plays this, or is the character played by Kumail Nanjiani, and he starts to have these magical powers, and he's like, I am a god. And of course, he is the comic relief for this movie. Now, I also write down interesting lines, and one that I wrote down is spoken by Paul Rudd's character, and he says, if there's something strange, if there's something weird, who are people going to call? Now, I don't know if maybe I should have put that in the funny category, but of course, that's from the very first Ghostbusters movie. Who are you going to call if something's strange, if something's weird, like the song, right? Anyway, but now we've got a lot of Ghostbusters, so which one of them are you going to call? All right, so before we go, let me give you recommendations for 3 movies that instantly came to my mind. The first one is the most recent Ghostbusters movie called Afterlife. I really enjoyed it and even got choked up because that was the first time that we saw some of our original cast members coming back and meeting the new cast members. And I just thought it was so well done and heartwarming, plenty of Easter eggs and all of that. But that will also give you a better insight into all of these characters with their background stories. And then just fun, goofy space meets humans type of movies are Men in Black. I love that franchise. And then Galaxy Quest. As humans are going into space. And it's, again, just goofy fun with a really great cast. Check those 2 out if you haven't seen those. All right, that's it. Have a fantastic day. And when you get a minute, join me over on Instagram as Movie Review Mom, but you can also find me as Trina Boice, where you'll learn about my books, my online courses, my products, and my other shenanigans. I always have some kind of a laugh for the day and that kind of stuff too. All right, I will catch you in the next one. Bye for now.